What up, man? This is your man Prince from Power Rule, Marcano from the Leftovers NYC, Marcano from Crown Wave Music, and I'm here with the Culture Coaches, Frills and Val. You all ready?
Yo, what's up? This is the God Kadi, a.k.a. Kadi Bless, and you are rocking with the Culture Coaches, my man Val and DJ Frills.
Everybody was talking about famous Frills and Val, the voice, coaching the culture.
Let it play.
Famous Frills and Val, the voice, coaching the culture.
Yes. It's only official when it's the culture. The coaches, I am Famous Frills, the Maybach of this music-ish, the Rolls Royce of this radio-ish. I am effing top line, and this is my Boricua, bro. Tell him your name.
Yes, sir. It's your man Val, the voice, the people's choice, Mr. Validated, and I know you hate it. I just want to shout out everybody who's been following us, helping us grow. We now on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, FM, AM. Listen, but it's not about us, Frills. It's always about us, but it's not about us today.
Who is it about, Val?
It's about our guests in the studio. And you know that I always like to start the show out with a word, right?
Yes.
So the word of the day is pioneer, a person who is among the first to research and develop a new area or knowledge in a certain activity. And the man who's in the studio today is a pioneer. Let me tell you something, Frills. Today it's real easy, right? To stream, to watch the streaming platforms, to see all these Latin artists, right? Big Pun, Fat Joe, Cardi B. But once upon a time, before there was a Big Pun, before there was a Fat Joe, before there was a Cardi B or 6ix9ine, there was a Prince Power Rule. There was a Prince Power Rule, okay? A Boricua from Queens. And we have Prince Power Rule in the studio today. We want to appreciate you for coming to the show, Prince Power Rule.
Thank you very much, man. I
Listen.
appreciate it very much. Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna get right into it. The fans want to know, how did you get your name Power Rule?
Well, I grew up in, the Jamaica Queens area, which
Okay.
is broken down into like subdivisions of Hollis, Shadyville, Laurelton.
Okay.
Cambria Heights, all of that.
Yeah.
So, it was a huge 5% Nation of Islam presence that was in our neighborhood growing up. There wasn't that many Latinos in the neighborhood, but my family was there, and the guards used to just, instead of calling you, it used to start out be like, yo, Paco, yo, Tito, what up, when you were a little kid. But once they got knowledge themselves, they started calling us Power Rule.
Which is the fifth letter in the lessons.
The P is the power in the alphabet, and the R is the rule in the alphabet. And so when they started calling me that, I was like, yo, that sounds pretty good.
That's dope.
That's all right. And then when we first started rapping, we had regular names like you would have back in 1985, 86. Yo, Force 2, Force 3, whatever. My name was MC Fantasy for a minute and everything.
I think Power Rule is better. Prince Power Rule is better.
I wanted, I never... Being Puerto Rican rapping never was anything special to me.
Yeah.
I just lived in the neighborhood that I lived in with my friends.
Yeah.
And, I just happened to be a Puerto Rican cat.
Okay.
But then, when it was time for us to name our group, after we went through a couple of names, my man Pancho, piece of my man Pancho, he's from 168th and Hillside.
Okay.
And that's where Dynamic Rockers is from.
Okay.
So we used to hang out in front of the number spot there, and, Dynamic Rockers is out there. Then you got, Prince and all these dudes from Supreme Team coming up.
Yeah.
Because there was a little pocket of Puerto Rican chicks there. So they all used to come from 40 Projects,
Yeah.
And we wanted to mess with the girls. But my man Pancho was just like, yo, call yourself Power Rule. And I was like, bet, that's it.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
where it was born?
That's where it was born.
We always say up here at the Culture Coaches, words is power.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Words is power. So the fact that they even calling you power, they're acknowledging your power.
Yeah, no, they left
So
all
I think
that,
it was appropriate.
They left all that little Tito, Chico thing behind, and when they got knowledge itself, listen, man, people could be like, man, that's just a big jail gang or whatever like that. But there's a few individuals that really did abide by the mathematics and everything like that. And when they spoke to me, I really...
It resonated.
I get it. I get everything. I know 120, you know what I'm saying? I get it all. You know what I'm saying? I didn't personally decide to follow that path, but I understood it.
Listen, hey, bro, listen. I'm from Philadelphia. We have some 5%. Shout out to Sun One in Philadelphia. He's definitely a 5%. For those around the globe that don't understand 5% lessons, what is 120. What is that culture about? Please let us know.
You know, it's you know, a lot of people will say that it's the lessons came down through you know, through the jail system and stuff like that. But basically, it's having knowledge of self. That's basically in a one sentence, knowledge of self, respecting yourself. You are God. You are a representation of God on this planet.
Okay.
And, you know, respect yourself and respect those in your cipher.
Now, what about for those globe that say, because like, you know, religion, I'm not into politics, and I don't really talk too much about religion.
Right.
What about some people that say like, because I got a friend, like I said, that's a 5%, and they say, man, they ain't doing nothing. Somebody say they devil worshiping. Like, break it down so people don't understand. Because they saying when you say you're a God, you're mocking God. So break the knowledge down so people can understand it. Because, you know.
Listen, man, it's like any organized religion, man.
Okay.
It's self-interpretation. You take what you want to take from it. Take the best of it and keep it going. Like, you know, there's radical 5%ers and there's those who are not. So just like there's radical Christians, radical Muslims,
That's a
and all
fact.
that. So it's just like it's each person's own interpretation. What I took from it,
Yes.
I took the positivity
There
from
you
it,
go.
not the negativity.
There you go.
You know, dude, we'd be in the lunchroom, and then all of a sudden 5 guards would show up and be like, yo, roll up on some dude that was trying to be down with the 5% Nation of Islam. Why you eating? And I'm trying not to curse. Why you eating that school lunch? Don't you know there's pork in that? Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
Just
right,
bang
yeah.
them out.
Wow.
Bang them out.
Yeah.
Yo,
Or if you know
after
your
school,
lessons, yeah.
If you ain't know
Yes.
your lessons, you
Yeah.
ain't know your 120, you didn't know today's mathematics.
There's bullies
you
and
was
everything.
eating pork, and you know what I'm saying? They just would bang you out.
So on a positive note, it builds discipline too.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Oh, so that's dope.
Absolutely.
I like
Can I
that.
add on?
Listen,
Go ahead, add on to the cipher.
So the reality is that let me add on. The reality is that the 5% Nation is not a religion; it's a science. So what
Okay.
happens is it's taught as a science; it's not taught as a religion. Even the Bible and the Quran both say that we are gods in the physical form. When Jesus Christ walked the earth, he says,
Right.
"You're a god of your own life. You can
Yes.
create. You can do just as much as I did, and you guys may do even more." So the Bible, the Quran, all the legendary, all the lessons teach you that you are a human God. You could create your own reality. So it's not saying everybody recognizes a higher power, a higher God, but on earth, yeah, we are gods. We are more than conquerors.
They feel that you part original man, what you
Yes.
call original man. People
Yes.
that are from, like, you know, Puerto Ricans are from Africa. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? You know, they even let Asian dudes be down with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You
If
just
you know
can't
your
be a
lessons,
Caucasoid.
yeah. So I got a question, right? You might know the answer. You might not know the answer, right? But Fat Joe said that he was a 5%er,
I know,
and they
but-
call him Crack Him Allah.
Listen, man, they ain't
Would
let-
they ever call anybody Crack Him Allah as a
Listen,
5%er?
man.
Just your
Hey,
opinion,
listen,
because we
man.
ask Crazy Legs the same
Listen,
thing.
man, they already threw the flag on the dude on the show. So
Okay.
you already know. Jada threw the flag.
All
so,
right, I just gotta
you know.
ask.
Hey,
Val.
he
Yeah.
could have been.
He could.
I'm
But the name
sure,
was
I'm
kind of
sure he
crazy.
was.
Crack Him Allah. That was
you-
kind of crazy.
You can't do that, dude.
Yeah.
It's just it's against the whole 120. you know?
That was
You
like
can't do
kind of, and listen, no joke, where he was from, the Forest
Yeah.
Projects,
that.
it
Listen,
was
man,
God'sville.
They probably was scared of
Yeah.
him or something like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
man, and let him get away with it.
I got a question.
Hold on, I
Go
got a
ahead, Frills.
question for both of y'all
Yeah.
brothers, right? Since both of y'all are or still is or
Yeah.
whatever in the 5%
Yeah.
nation.
No, I
you're-
never was a 5%.
Yeah.
I lived around them.
Okay.
And
Oh,
I
but you-
understood. I know everything about it.
The lessons and
but
stuff.
I never,
Got you.
wanted to be down with that because my whole thing, listen, and this, holds true today.
Yes.
It's just like, I don't like organized things, period, that are in disarray. So I would see dudes wilding out.
Yeah.
I see dudes that really studied. I know dudes that went to the mosque. Peace to my man Sunyez Allah. He's still teaching uptown.
Sunyez,
And man,
shout out to
is my
Sunyez,
man.
yeah.
He's part of the Leftovers NYC.
Yeah, dope.
But, not even when I grew up in a Baptist household. And, I started questioning it early on because these were books that were written, right? Now, the story is fantastic and
Yeah.
all that. But remember,
That's true.
a whole government decided and voted on which books of the Bible will be given to
Yeah,
the public. They took out
they
so many books,
extracted.
man,
Yes.
and they edited it and
Yeah,
everything.
it's a fact.
And people just sit there and they read that and they be like, "Well, that's what the Bible says. That's what the." man, you know, that was written by regular dudes and people that wanted to keep people under their control.
Right.
I
Well,
think-
listen,
No,
hold
no,
on.
no.
Hey,
Go
Val,
ahead.
hold on. I want to talk about something that was written.
Go ahead.
Yo, Well Connected was written by you. We're about
That's
to get
right.
into this
Well,
record.
I definitely wrote that.
And listen, and when we
Me
come
and my
back,
man Mike Miller,
Shout out
Shuffton
to
and
Mike
Hillside.
Miller.
shout out to Mike. But listen, though, shout out to
and
Mike.
DJ Axe.
Shout out to them, but it's about you. But when we come back, I need to know who is the top 5% rappers of all time. We are the culture.
The broadcast bullies. Famous Frills and Val the voice. Coaching the culture.
Yes. We are back. Famous Frills, DJ No Frills, and my Boricua, bro. Before we
Yes, sir.
went to the break, listen, I asked a question. I need to know from Val the voice, in no particular order,
Yes,
who
sir.
are the top 5% artists of all time?
That's right. Give us your
I
top
don't know
5.
if I'm going to give you 5, but, you know, there's only one of one, and it's Rakim Allah.
Okay.
Rakim?
Rakim
Rakim
Allah.
Allah.
And probably after him, as people that really were on record, you know, as 5% is, I got to give Brand Nubian
Yes.
the number 2.
Yes.
Number 2 spot. Number 3 spot and everything. See, it gets kind of shaky. There's
Yeah.
dude that got knowledge himself in mathematics, but they don't really tell you. I'm pretty sure, I think Kane. King
Okay.
Asiatic, nobody
Yeah.
equal. I think
Yeah.
Kane was down with it. I don't know to the extent.
Yeah. Yes.
But all I know, Rakim, Brand Nubian, put that on the map.
Why?
You know, Just Ice.
Just Ice
earlier,
also, yeah.
Just Ice.
earlier, you know, and Just Ice was a beast back in the day. But you know,
and production was crazy.
Rakim changed the way everybody perceived and listened to lyrics. You know,
Yeah.
you went from, you know, my name is Joe, when I'm back, you know, Run DMC flow and everything, which I love to death. This guy just broke the mold. He
Yeah.
just
That's
did
a
something
fact.
that was so
He revolutionized
crazy.
MCing.
You know, so he
And them
just
videos
changed
were so
everything.
iconic.
You
Them
know,
videos.
King Son has some good joints too.
King Son.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
that's true.
Lakim Shabazz.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah, he's
those
dropping
dudes
some.
out there.
He's dropping some real 5% of
Yeah,
hip
yeah.
hop history. I got one.
But it's Rakim all day. There's not even nobody
Yeah.
close.
One of the illest for
Oh,
me.
my man Tragedy Gaddafi.
Shout out to
I gotta
Tragedy
give
Gaddafi.
it to my man
Yeah.
Traj.
Tragedy
yes.
Gaddafi too.
Queens. That's Queens
That's
too, right?
Queens,
Of
man.
course, man.
Representing
That's my
Queens
Bridge
heavy.
Brothers.
Listen, I got one that legendary in my opinion, the Jizza, the genius from Wu-Tang.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and the RZA.
The RZA. But the Jizza,
No, you know
I
what?
say the
I
Jizza
should-
because the
Jizza.
Jizza inspired the RZA.
Hey, let me
the
tell
Jizza
you a
was
quick
the
story.
OG.
Let me
Tell us
tell you
a
a quick story
story
about Jizza.
About the, hold on.
Hold on,
This
exclusive.
is a Culture Coaches
Yeah, no, but
exclusive.
it's
My
not-
man
it's
Prince
not a
Power
crazy-
Rule.
It's not a crazy. I'm just going to show you the type of individual that he is, right?
Who's that? The Jizza?
The
Genius
Jizza?
Genius.
of Wu-Tang.
So when I came out in '89,
Yeah.
Jizza had "Do Me Baby"
Yes.
and RZA had "Ooh We Love You Rockin',"
Yeah.
right? Not records that everybody was crazy
Yeah.
about and everything. You know, I came from, you know, I was bigger and better, and I was
Yeah.
killing it. Now,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about how difficult it was
We're gonna
for
get
me
into
to get to
that.
that
Yeah.
spot. But I'm downtown Manhattan one time, and I'm hanging out with this chick, of course, and we sitting at
Yeah, because we heard you were putting them down
Well,
on
yeah.
them chicks. We're going to get into that.
Well, you know,
Go ahead.
hey man, I might as well talk about it now before
No,
I get
let's
too
talk
old.
about to the
I
Jizza.
still looking
Go
kind
ahead.
of good,
Go
so. But so I'm sitting there, and this dude comes walking up to me, and then I realize, oh shit, that's
genius.
That's the Jizza. He's Wu-Tang now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, don't you make records? Now, at that point, I had stopped, and a lot of people would always say, "Didn't you used to be a rapper?" That's the number
Ooh.
one thing they would say. "Didn't you used to be a rapper?" He says, "Don't you make records?"
Words
He's
are
like that.
powerful.
He's like, "Yo, man, I really loved your stuff. You know, growing up, and thank you.
Yeah.
Give me a pound, and that was it. But that's all I needed because."
Yeah.
That dude
That's
was at
respect.
the highest level.
Yeah.
Nothing could touch Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
He had liquid swords
Yes.
out, which is crazy.
Classic.
And he took time to move from his spot, come to where I was, shake my hand, and give me some love. So
Shout out to the
that's a
Jizza, Wu-Tang,
class dude.
and
That's
your
a
top
class
3 or
dude.
4 legendary artists.
Right.
Listen, I want to get back into your story. So listen, you're from Hollis,
Okay.
Queens, right? You're
Shadyville,
from
really. We call it Shadyville.
All right,
It's right next to
Shadyville.
Hollis, Queens. It's the same
Okay,
thing.
you're Boricua. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't believe there were a lot of Puerto Rican or Latino artists, hip hop artists that came out of Queens or who were circulating at that time. It was basically mostly the Bronx that had the legendary hip hop artists like Ruby D and all all the Latino wise. So what inspired you and what made you believe as a Puerto Rican, as a Latino artist, that you can do this? When did you want to start becoming an artist, and what made you believe that you can actually succeed in this with your group?
Well, initially, I was in rock bands first.
Okay.
I love rock music because I told you, I grew up in a Puerto Rican house. I lived in a black neighborhood and was bused to a white school system.
Okay.
So when I got exposed to rock music, I really gravitated to it, and I liked it a lot. Okay. Your Led Zeppelins, your Aerosmiths, your AC/DCs and all that stuff. In my neighborhood, it was taboo. It was like, yo, that's that devil music. I was like, man, this sounds good, bro.
Yeah.
And
good music is good music.
And I liked it, and I was in a couple of bands. Well, I started getting more popular with the bands at around 16, 17 years old. And then I was doing horrible in school. It wasn't for me. So my mom, as her punishment, she sent me to her cousin's house in San Bernardino, California for a whole summer, and I wasn't allowed to I wasn't allowed to play baseball no more, and I wasn't allowed to be in the band anymore. That one summer in like 84, 85. When I came back, all the white boys that I used to look up to were all breakdancing now.
Wow.
And who did they look up to? Puerto Ricans. So now I was like, wait a minute. I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
How do I fit in?
Yeah.
Now I could break a little bit and stuff like that. Of course, when you were a real hip hop dude, my brothers used to DJ, so I knew how to DJ a little bit. I could break a little bit and all that. But I'm a writer. So it was a natural progression to become an MC. So that's how I started doing it. And the only other Latino MC in my whole neighborhood, and I was up and down Hollis, Shadyville, Cambria, all that. It was only me and my man Johnny J and my man House. And
Johnny J.
So House used to do the beatbox. Johnny J actually gave me the structure on how to write rhymes. And then, my pen was nice because I love English and I love expressing myself in different ways. You know what I'm saying? My mother taught us very early on, I'm not going to teach you Spanish at home. Your grandmother wants to talk to you in Spanish, that's fine. But in order for you to make it here in New York City, in the United States, you need to know how to speak English fluently because they're already going to think that you're an ignorant spick. So you have to present yourself in that way.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think, I know that OG mom, she was trying to protect you. A lot of people, she was just trying to protect, but you looking at it now as an older man, do you believe she did the right thing in doing that? Or
Absolutely.
Okay, why is that?
I wouldn't be here because, it was great to be exposed to 3 different cultures growing up. The Spanish house, the black neighborhood, and the Jewish-Irish school system that I was in. And I got a chance to look at everything. And listen, man, I'm a kid that used to watch TV and fantasize all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, I was fascinated with white culture. I lived in a Puerto Rican house where people were practicing hustling in my living room before they went out that
what
night.
What about Santeria? Were they practicing?
No, we wasn't doing that.
I'm just asking.
No, we Baptist, baby. I went to Queens Baptist Church.
I tell people all the time, right? In the Boricua household, you're either Catholic, like Pentecostal Baptist,
but there's
or
a lot
you're
of Baptists.
Santero.
Yeah, there's a lot of Baptists.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of Puerto Rican Baptists. And then, so it's just like a normal day for me would be get up, take the bus. The whole bus is black. Me getting on the bus. Everybody who was in the back of the bus was thugs. Gigantic radio, smoking blunts, and that's when we smoked El Productos, even before Phillies.
Philly don't know nothing about that.
It was El
Producto was before Philly. Frills was before the Phillies, okay? He don't know nothing about that.
But Val, Philly made it cool though.
Yeah, but if you was real fly, then you went to the Jamaican spot and you got the frontal leaf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the whole back of the bus would be smoked out. You could do
they
that.
They were smoking
you
right out of Phillies.
You could play the radio.
Yo, this sound like a movie, man. Like,
it is a movie. My whole life is a movie.
Yeah.
I got a question, and I'm going to pass it over. And then I'm going to pass it over to No Frills. That's a pause,
that's
though.
definitely a pause.
Finish your wisdom.
So anyway, you grow with all these different influences. At some point, it's going to saturate you.
That's right.
And you're going to find something spiritual in it. So
that's true.
it made me the man I am today, and that's
Yes.
why you could put me at any place on this planet, man, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna adapt.
You're gonna
I
adapt.
adapt or die, bro.
That's right. I like that.
That's the only
Adapt or
reason why
die,
I'm here.
Yeah,
Evolve
Yeah.
or dissolve.
That's
I
my
always say.
saying, adapt or die.
Listen, so when did you start recording? We're gonna get into your whole record deal, but
Yeah.
when did you start recording? When did you start
Well,
taking
when
it
I came
serious?
back, so when I came back and everything, and the hip hop thing was going,
Yeah.
and then I wasn't that good of a breaker, but I was down with
Okay.
Dynamic Rockers,
Yeah.
and those guys are phenomenal,
Val wasn't no good either.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a whole
yeah.
nother
No
story.
good.
Yeah,
wasn't no
you
good.
you don't gotta be. But man, when I started
whack.
putting them words together, I probably made my first
Demo.
Well, but it's not even a demo.
What was it?
It was just, my man hooked up the turntables. We put on some mics and we just recorded it. You know what I'm saying?
Who's your man?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Back then his name was DJ Tab, and he was a
Shout
white
out
boy.
to
DJ Tab.
Shout out
Piece
to
of
DJ
mescaline
Tab.
tabs.
All right.
But anyways, me, him, Johnny J, and House was the beatbox, and we were Power Rule back then.
Okay.
Actually, I have flyers.
Okay.
That you heard of Hype Williams, right?
Of course.
So Hype Williams is from my neighborhood,
Yes.
and he used to do all the flyers in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I got flyers with Hype Williams doing the artwork,
Yeah.
and then you see Power Rule MCs on there.
That's dope, man.
So,
Shout out to Hype Williams.
So we would make our tapes and we go around, and then around my neighborhood, everybody was like, "Yo, they like the Puerto Rican Run DMC. Yo,
Yeah.
they got Beastie Boys. They got Run DMC. Power Rule is up next." So we supposedly was gonna be up next, but there's so much politics
Yeah,
and,
of course.
and everything that goes on. So they gave us a contract, and this is the one.
Who gave
time
you
in
a
my-
contract?
Profile Records.
Okay.
Hold
so
on
you-
1 second.
There you go.
Hold on. Shout out to Profile Records. They cut me a check last week, but we want to get
Wow,
into
they
this bright
still
lights.
around?
Yeah.
The broadcast bullies. Famous Frills and Val the Voice. Coaching the culture.
Are back. I am Famous Frills, the Maybach of
Sir.
this music-ish, the Rolls Royce of this radio-ish. I am effing top of the line, and this is my Boricua,
Yes,
bro.
sir. Yes,
Tell
sir.
him your name.
It's your man Val, the voice, the people's choice, Mr. Validated, and I know you hate it. Listen, man, we're getting a lot of hip-hop history, a lot of cultural history right here. New York City culture. I don't know where you're from, but we're from NYC. Frills, where you from?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Okay.
What you
We the
got
East
to
Coast-
say?
We the East Coast cousins. It's all good. It's
Okay,
all
all
good.
right. Don't
Teamwork
start
makes
no
it
ish.
dreamwork. But listen, it's about Hollis, Queens today. You know what I'm saying? It's about what do you call Shadyville?
Shadyville.
It's about
Shadyville.
Shadyville. It's
Hey,
about
by the
all
way,
the
when you said
legendary.
about the DJ,
Yeah.
you know who Mr. Sinister is?
Yes, Mr. Sinister.
That's Sinister
I'm a
cutting
fan.
up
Shout
on
out to
that.
Mr. Sinister, the X-Men, the Executioners.
That's right,
Yeah.
baby.
Them cuts
Shout
was
out to
sharp.
them.
All my boys, rest in
Yes.
peace, Rock Raider.
Rock Raider.
That's our boy, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Shout out. So
Yes.
listen, pull up to the mic, my man.
Yes, sir.
This is my man. Is it Kadi Blessed?
Kadi.
Kadi Blessed. Guys, spell it. We say it like little Boricua. Kadi
Yeah.
Blessed.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
my
yeah,
man
yeah.
Kadi Blessed is
It used to
in
be
the
Kadi
building.
Aguayo.
It was Kadi
Now it's
Agueros,
Blessed.
and my mom's passed away, and I just
Yeah.
felt grateful, and I was
Salute to
reflecting.
moms.
So I said, "Yo, my life been blessed."
Listen,
So I
that's right.
officially changed it.
Salute.
I went to the courts and all that. And changed it.
Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
that's dope.
So
Yeah,
listen, I was told by my man here, Power Rule, that you're one of the heads of street team of a legendary label we were just talking about. I'm gonna get back to it.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
gonna finish up some questions. I'm gonna introduce you officially. Thank
good.
you for sitting in.
Thank
Kadi
you,
Bless
guys.
is
Thank
in the
you.
building
Thank
with
you.
us. All right.
No doubt.
All right. So listen, man. So let's get into your record deal. But let's. So
Okay.
your first album, was it called Power Rule? Was that the name of the album? Because there was some.
Well, here's the lineage.
Yes,
right?
please.
So, for once in my life, the only time, and I should have done it later.
Yeah.
We got a contract from Profile Records.
Profile Records.
In 1988.
Okay.
You know, because word around Hollis and everything. Yo, they nice. And we used to go to park jams and everything. Yo,
Yeah.
nobody used to let us grab the mic. We grabbed the mic, and we had battle
Yeah,
rhymes
the
for
Debo it.
everybody. Oh, no,
Yeah.
we did it.
That's
and
right.
everybody loved us. They gave us a contract. My boy Johnny J's pops was just like, well, I'm bringing this to a lawyer. He had a pops. I ain't
smart.
had no pops. You know what I'm saying? My mother had no interest in whatever I was doing. You know? But he brought it there, and it was horrendous, and we didn't do it. So then we started going to the studio to cut demos. My boy Jay, I was just like, why is he not showing up to recording sessions? And then finally, after third or fourth time, he's just like, you know, Prince, man, I love rapping and everything, but I don't like show business, and I don't want to be in it.
Wow.
Straight up, just told me. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to do it on my own.
That's
I never
right.
wanted to be a soloist. I always wanted
Yeah.
to be in a group.
That was your destiny,
yeah.
homie.
Yeah, so then I went and I recorded the demo for Smooth, and then back then, you know, nobody wanted to give us a record deal. So, you know, we took the money that we made out
Yes.
there like that, and then we put it out with this lady that knew how to do vinyl and stuff like that. And these are the days of record pools. So
Okay.
you know, there's
Shout out to the record
that's
pool
the only
DJs.
way that
record
you
pool.
used
That's
to
right.
get a record is through a record pool, and you have to be fortunate enough to have a connection with that record
That's
pool.
right.
Fortunately,
Hold on. Can you say that one more time? See, there's a lot of artists
Talk to 'em,
that
Phils.
don't respect the DJs and they don't respect record pools, and there's a bunch of them around. Shout out to my fam DJ Swerve. He's definitely part of a lot of record pools. And just talk about the importance of DJs and record pools.
Listen, man, in the original conception when hip hop was growing from the beginning, from '73 all the way into 1980, it was DJ was number one. And then you were a host if you were emceeing. You weren't a featured person. Somebody might like the way you said, throw your hands in the air or whatever.
Yeah. You were Coke
And all
La
that.
Rock.
Right,
Yeah.
Coke La Rock and all that. And then slowly but surely the MC became more important. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Got you.
But for me,
DJ's
and
the
just so
backbone.
I don't leave out this part, when I used to watch Wild Style, when we used to get those fifth generation mixtapes of Kumo D battling Busy B and Fearless 4 in the Park and all that and Cold Crush versus Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wild Style gave you the opportunity to actually see their faces for
That's
the first
right.
time because I was in Queens. And man, when I saw Ruby D,
There you go.
I was just like, wow, there's a guy that looks like me.
Exactly.
And I was just like,
There's a Puerto Rican
oh,
speaking.
I'm with him. And then once I saw what Tito from the Fearless
That's
4 looked
right.
like, because I went to the United States of America and they came out there and did Rockin' It. And when Tito came out on stage, bro, the whole place, girls lost their
Yeah.
mind. And I was like, that's what I'm on.
Just to be clear,
So Ruby D, Tito, by far, are my number one influences. And there was a
Awesome.
lot of other people around, but for me, they were the reason why I do
started
this
emceeing?
till this day.
just for the people who don't know, he's talking about the devastating Tito.
Devastating Tito,
Devastating
Fearless
Tito. Fearless 4. He. A lot of people. Fat Joe told me this himself. He said that Devastating Tito was like the first Puerto Rican hip hop celebrity. Like people looked at him like he was a celebrity in the neighborhood.
He had that. He had that.
He had that star
No,
that star
Ruby
element.
D
Yeah.
and Charlie Chase too, though.
Yeah.
But Tito took it to the next
Yeah.
level. Yeah.
Tito was fashionable. He was a star.
What you gotta
know?
understand
Yeah.
is, so okay, all those dudes, they were paired up with other dudes that,
Yes.
were black.
Right.
I
Yeah.
gotta say African American. Shit's stupid.
Yeah.
They was black dudes,
Yeah.
and the Puerto Rican dude they have a Puerto Rican dude down with them.
Yeah.
Right.
So there was no business model or
Yeah.
anything
That's right.
that there's only Puerto Rican dudes in this group.
Yes.
There's no other black guys
Yeah.
around over there. So nobody thought it was going to be marketable. They only thought it was going to be marketable if I spoke in Spanish. And they used
Okay.
to try to do that. I was like, bro, I know English fluently. I do not know Spanish fluently, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to do it. So we put it out ourselves, came out with Smooth. The first thing we did,
Took
like I
off.
said, we took it to the record pools. They got it. Then one day, so my man, Wild Man Steve in WBAU, and that's where Chuck D and all them came out of WBAU in Long Island.
Yes,
they
sir.
played it. But the second person to play it was Cool DJ Red Alert. He got it from the record pool.
Shout out to
Cool
Red Alert.
DJ Red Alert.
He broke records.
He looked on the back of the record, got the phone number, called. He was like, Power Rule, I want you to come up and do a drop.
That's dope.
And so we did that. And then the second person to play it was Marley Marl.
Wow.
And Marley Marl, Traj was an intern up there.
Right.
And Marley was there. And so this girl that I knew Marley. So my DJ went up there, my man Axe. And,
Okay.
Axe was a baller, man. So, he went up there with a bottle of Dom Perignon and everything.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there in front of my girl crib, and I hear EPMD Big Payback. Bam, ba-dum, dam, dum, dum, dam. And then you hear boom, world premiere. Because Marley's world premiere was the
Yes.
equivalent of a flex bomb.
That's right.
Facts.
Put the world premiere on my joint, and this is when there's only 2 radio stations, and it's Friday, Saturday night.
That's right. Talk to him.
Every car in the street
Is playing
played the same thing. So imagine standing outside on your block.
Yes.
Your joint gets the world premiere.
That's
Yes.
right.
All you can hear is your song reverberating in the streets.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
yo,
It's
hold
like the
on.
whole hood made it.
Bro, listen. Hold on, though, bro. It's 2025. Vow the Voice and Famous Frills. We relaunching this record. It's a cool classic. We be right back.
Yo, ask, man, what's up, man? That beat sounds kind of fly.
Yeah, word, Prince. You know, this beat's not too fast, not too wild, you know, just right. Strictly smooth.
Smooth, cause I don't get upset. Smooth, smooth, cause I don't get upset. Smooth, cause I don't get upset. Smooth, smooth, cause I don't get upset. Smooth, cause I don't get upset. I get a grip on myself and I don't break a sweat. Dreams come to life for some and I stand by. Look at myself, then I'm asking, who am I? Face in the crowd like any other. I dig and I scratch and I fight like many brothers to reach the top and do what has to be done. So I can be number one, but then I'm stuck and stopped, eventually drop. Like a kid on the block selling rock, I get popped. Looking forward to see some reach the plateau. Punks a jump, back in a whack show. I flip, lose my head, wanna bust an ill move. I better chill, man, and play it smooth. Cause I don't get upset. Smooth, smooth, cause I don't get upset. Smooth, cause I don't get upset. Smooth, smooth, cause I don't get upset. Smooth, smooth, cause I don't get
The
upset.
broadcast bullies. Famous Phil's and Valor voice. Coaching the culture.
Yes, yes, we are the culture. The coaches, right? Listen clear around the globe. Listen, he is a legend that is living. That is a cool classic. We relaunched records. Yo, that record is dope. It was dope back in the day. It's dope to this day. We push dope. Right, Val?
Yes, right. We dope pushers. Val the voice, Famous Frills. We push dope. We them dope pushers, man. I'm having an amazing time. Very informative. I'm learning a lot. Shout out to my man, Kadi Bless is in the studio. Kadi, pull up to the mic,
Kadi
brother.
What's up, fellas?
What's
Kadi
up?
Bless,
Kadi
man.
Bless.
I heard some legendary stuff about you. So word on the street is, first of all, we need the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You promise?
Yes,
Okay.
you got that.
So the streets is telling me that you were one of the heads of the Loudrecords street team back in the 90s, the legendary Loudrecords. We were just talking about it. The label that broke legends like Wu-Tang Clan, that broke Big Pun, that broke Mobb Deep, that broke what I just found out today. I'm going to ask you, do you know who the first artist on Loudrecords was? Because I got schooled a little while ago.
man.
It's Twister, if I'm
Whoa,
not mistaken.
he got it right.
Whoa.
He got it right. So I was
Do you know
wrong.
that Loud Records, that Loud was an acronym? Did you know? You want to do a little trivia?
No, let's
I do.
let's talk
I
about
remember it, but I don't
Coach to
remember what it
culture.
was.
That's
What
coach
was
to
it for?
culture.
It was listeners of urban dialect.
I didn't even know it was that.
Never
but
knew that.
I heard that.
People
yeah.
didn't really care about it, but that's a little trivia.
Yeah,
That's
tell
dope.
Steve
That's how I started.
Rifkin he still owes you a check
Right,
because
my
you're
man
still up
Steve.
here promoting it.
That's right. That's
Listen,
right.
Hey,
Shout out to
Steve,
Steve.
cut him the check, Steve.
That's
Where's
right.
the check?
So quick question.
So I didn't do the
what'd you
the
do?
street team thing.
Okay.
I was radio promotion.
You
Radio,
were radio
okay.
I was doing
promotions.
radio
Even
promotions.
that's
Yeah.
shit, that's probably even more important.
I
than the
don't want to
street.
say. I don't want to say it like that.
No,
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
No,
But-
it's more important.
He was one of those dudes up there.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, can I
And
say something to you?
wait till he tell you the part
He
two
was
of his career.
he was the East Coast DeMizza.
Yeah.
He was the
I-
East Coast DeMizza.
I actually brought Jay-Z, Dame, and Biggs up to Steve Rifkin
Wow.
for a meeting.
Hold on,
That's
wait up,
crazy.
hold on one
Yeah.
second.
Oh, he from Uptown.
Hold on one
Yeah.
second.
Get
This
his
is the
orders.
Culture Coaches exclusive information. Say that one more time for the globe.
I had a friend that I grew up with in my neighborhood on 97th Street
Okay.
in Amsterdam, in New York City, in Manhattan.
Okay.
And his name
Yeah,
was
not
Gary.
in Philly, Frills, not in Philly.
And his name was Gary. And he
Face
used to.
Gary.
And he used to.
Big Face Gary, shout out to him. No curse.
Oh, Big Face
He used
Gary?
to-
Yeah, Big Face Gary.
Right.
Okay.
So we grew up together. So he used to be cool with Biggs.
Okay.
So Biggs used to come to our park on 97th Street in Amsterdam called the GOAT.
Okay.
It has two meanings actually. It's the
Okay.
GOAT Park or Rocksteady Park.
Okay.
Depending on what you do and how you do it. You know what I mean? So we would be up there all the time drinking, hanging out. So Biggs knew that I worked for Rifkin and Loud and all that.
Right.
So I would be bringing Mobb Deep exclusives and Wu-Tang exclusives that had
Yeah.
just been pressed to the park and playing it. And then Biggs would be like, yo, listen to my man Jay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he'd be playing Can I Live and all these records for me like that. So
Exactly.
eventually I set up a meeting with Steve and brought them over to the offices and stuff like that. And then whatever reasons it didn't work out, whatever, but
Wow.
I definitely set that up and we definitely had a meeting. That's a fact.
And this was after
This was before
Reasonable
Rockefeller
Da-
was made.
Okay,
They
so
made Rockefeller after that meeting because it didn't work out. They got so frustrated. That's when Rockefeller,
Wow.
the inception
Exclusive.
was made.
Val the
You know
Voice,
what I mean?
DJ No
Because of
Frills.
that. Yeah.
Cool,
Wow,
classic,
that's amazing.
true
This was 95.
story.
But they started in 96.
Yes.
This was 95. We had the meeting.
Oh,
so
that's
listen,
dope.
you know,
But wait a minute,
Go
let him
ahead.
tell him part 2 of
Tell
this.
part two.
What's-
No, tell
what's-
part
what's-
two.
No,
no,
part
what is part
two.
two?
Part two.
Oh, yeah.
Part two.
Part two.
Yeah. Then I did some other stuff after I left Loud. I went to work for Jelly Bean Benitez, Loudrecords before.
Homo-
I did that for about 6 months.
Homo Latin artist.
Yes,
I
Homo
think
Latino
I seen
artist.
you there.
Yes.
You probably
I think
did.
I seen you
Your
there.
face
Well,
look
my
familiar.
man Butter was up there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, Butter was
Yes,
up.
Butter was A&R there.
We're going to talk behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're familiar.
Go ahead.
So yeah, did that. Then and then eventually Mimi Valdez, she helped me get a gig with Vibe magazine.
That's
She
what's
helped.
up.
I think she was at Source first. She helped me do some styling gigs there.
Nice.
Then she put me on with Emil Wilbekin at Vibe, and I was the styler at Vibe for 3 years. I styled Nas Nostradamus album. I styled Ghostface Killer.
Hold up. Stylist too.
Yeah, I did that too.
For
Yeah, I
the
just
people,
everything. I
hold
do
on,
the
hold
culture.
on. For the
Yeah, it's just
people,
culture.
for the people around the world, break that down. What you mean by style? Style, the album cover, the artist, with clothing, with seating.
Yeah,
but-
basically it's like I get the clothes. You know what I'm saying? We have a meeting. We sit down and let's say Prince is like, "Yo, this is the vision for the album. This is what I'm
Yes.
trying. This is what I like. This is what I don't like." I'll take notes and then I'll go get it and try to help him get that vision on the album and on the
That's dope.
inserts and all that. So I did that for now. I did Supreme Clientele for Ghost.
That's
I
dope.
worked with Capadonna and then for the magazine
just
I
was
did
talking
Jay.
about Capadonna.
Yeah, then when I did
Shout out to Cap.
for the magazine, I did Nas, Jay, D'Angelo. I did so many
Wow.
people. It's not even funny. It was 3 years of it. Snoop, Nori. I mean, the list
All right.
goes on. The list goes on.
Just so that is
DMX,
That's
That's
LL.
official.
Talk to him.
Yeah.
Your boss. He
Yeah.
styled your boss.
I was the
Frills.
general
LL.
manager for Vacant Live Records.
Listen.
Wait, I got more for y'all. I was the general manager of Vacant Live Records with
Dame
Dame,
Grease.
my man Dame Grease, Mino, and the whole Vacant Live
Wow.
crew. I put Max B on the record with my boy Curious George
Wow.
back in 2009. We got a
Curious. We got
video.
that record?
We got a video and all
Okay.
that for
We
it. I
gonna
did
relaunch
that.
that
Now
record.
everybody going Max B
Yeah.
crazy. I did that
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago
Okay.
before he went in.
Yeah.
Let's talk,
Boricua.
people. Let's
Yeah,
talk,
talk.
people.
Yes,
Thank you,
talk.
Prince by Boricua all day.
Boricua's a
All
hip-hop.
day. My
Boricua's
father
a
was the
hip-hop.
director Museo del Barrio.
Oh,
He
that's-
took it from 3rd Avenue and put it on 5th Avenue. We here to talk,
Val
right?
ain't know
Prince,
that.
you got
Val,
me
you
talking
ain't know
today.
that, Val.
You got me
Hey,
talking
Val.
today, Prince.
Val, I'm from
Yeah.
Philly and I knew that, Val. Take his hip hop card.
So you know Puerto Rican Flags Up. I'm part of Puerto Rican Flags Up. I believe they work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they work with your dad back
Yeah,
in the
probably,
days.
probably.
Yo, so listen, that's legendary. So
The
I
Young
want
Lords.
to.
My mom's cousin was the top of the female of the Young Lords.
Yeah, shout out to
We-
Felipe
you know
Luciano.
that? Yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
know
wow.
him too back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah, we good.
I'm getting hype up here.
Yo,
Let's
listen,
the boys
great.
are running the
We don't
building.
play around,
Yo,
baby.
It's
We don't play
Boricua.
around.
I'm Boricua. HB, when you want to be Boricua too,
Listen.
you can't, homie. Pull yourself together, little Raheem.
Yeah, check it out real quick. So that's legendary. So just let me reiterate it for our listeners, okay? So you worked at Loud Records. You were radio promotions at Loud Records. I want to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
And then you also worked for, what did you do at Homo Latin Artist Jelly Bean Benitez?
Marketing.
Marketing. Shout
Yeah.
out to Veronica.
With Mimi Valdez.
Yep, dope.
Shout
Shout
out
out to
Mimi.
shout out to
Yeah,
Butter.
yeah.
You know, a lot
Butter.
of people
Oh,
don't
what
know.
up, Butter?
Listen,
Hell yeah.
my man Jelly Bean was giving those publishing deals away like
Hey man,
hotcakes back
me
in
and
the
Fat
days.
Joe almost signed there.
No, Fat Joe,
But
he ended up signing there.
signed
Fat
he
Joe
signed
did.
there for a
I
publishing.
didn't because I
signed the
went
publishing
with
deal
another
there.
Latin dude. His name was Andy Panda,
Yeah.
and he was big in the freestyle
Yeah,
music scene.
I know Andy
but
Panda,
he
yeah.
had a deal with Def Jam.
Yeah.
So I was on Def Jam through Andy Panda
So for
a while,
For those who don't know, right?
but
so,
never came out.
little bit of history, right? Jelly Bean Benitez is a legendary DJ. I know him personally. He's a legendary DJ.
I used to watch him
The
go
Fun
spin when I
House.
was 15 years old.
He was the resident DJ at a legendary club named the Fun House, where
Exactly.
he discovered Madonna.
Right.
And started dating Madonna.
Right.
And then produced all her first joints like Holiday, Borderline, legendary producer, did legendary soundtracks, and then he opened up an independent, not independent, it was majorly distributed actually. All a Homo Latin artist. He owned Big Pun's publishing, Tony Touch's publishing, Fat Joe's publishing.
You know-
He was definitely legendary.
Hey,
And
hold on.
He
Hey,
was
Val,
like the
no.
Russell Simmons
Hey, Val,
of
hold on.
Latino
And
hip
No.
hop.
shout
Val.
out to
Yeah.
shout out to my homegirl Arlene Devaya because she's
That's
the
my
one that
homie. I grew up
she
with her.
took me
I
to
grew up
Jelly
with her.
Bean
Yeah, I
because she was
grew
like,
up
yo,
with
they
Arlene.
looking for executives.
Hold on.
Like, you
Hey,
should go
Val.
talk
She's
with them.
from East New York,
yeah,
like me.
Yeah,
Hold
so,
on.
yeah, I didn't
Hold
know
on.
that. I
Hold
spoke to her
on.
the other day.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I used to go pick Arlene up with my cousins. We used to go pick her up in East New York.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Before she
Yeah.
started writing
I
shit,
didn't know that.
she was hanging out
She
with us.
wrote
all the
I
Mary
Need Love
J
with
stuff.
Mary. Yeah.
She wrote,
And Jelly Bean gave her a
She
deal.
has a baby with Devontae.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yes,
So
she
I go,
do.
we went to shout out to PS 108 in Brooklyn. East New York is in the building. Shout out to classic material NY.
yeah. Los, what up, Los?
That's right,
And
Los.
shout out to her brother who's a real G, Richie. Her brother was her dad was crazy. He be shooting fair ones with all the kids on the block, like a 50-year-old man taking off his shirt, shooting fair with the gangster.
Because East New York is right next to Jamaica, Queens.
Yes,
so we'll go Jamaica Avenue, and then all of a sudden, and listen,
this is New York culture.
I've been to 40 projects before. I never been to Pink Houses.
Yeah.
She lived down there.
Yeah.
So when we made that left and you go down that hill, I was like, holy shit, dude, this is...
No cursing power rule.
Oh, sorry. Holy smokes.
Passion. It's passion. It's all passion. That's passion.
Holy smokes,
yo,
buddy.
Listen,
yo, it was
good
scary.
looking to my man Damon Dash.
It was
blessing
scary.
us with the
There was
purple,
only one way in and no other way out. It was scary.
Yeah, that's New
But
York
we still went to
culture.
pick her up and her girls, boy.
Yeah, she's legendary. Like I haven't talked to her in years. I haven't seen her in years. The last time I seen her was in Times Square, and she was telling me this might have been early 2000s. Like I know her since public school, and she was telling me that she was getting ready to sue Puffy. But she was going to sue Diddy for all of those records, and she was trying to. She had just had a kid. She was trying to work it out in litigation and not have to go. And I was like, "Yo, hopefully she got the bag. If I ever run into her,
that's right. She went and did the R&B at Loud.
I'm gonna
yeah,
find her.
Yeah, she ended up being the R&B representative at Loud.
And she's Boricua too. So Boricua's always had an imprint, regardless of Boricua's always had that. That gets back to my man Power Rule. Listen, let me ask you a question. I know you were saying you were inspired by the legendary people like Ruby D and Tito, DJ Charlie Chase, all the legendary early pioneers in the 80s, right? Yeah. But a lot of people don't know there was a time frame between the mid 80s all the way to like the late 80s where there was no other new faces, and you were the face. Like I said before, you were the pioneer. Before there was a Fat Joe, before there was Big Pun, before there was all these other artists that came out, you held the torch. Even before, I mean, you might have been right around the time my man Mellow Man Ace on the West Coast, but there wasn't a lot of Boricuas, and there wasn't just a lot of Latinos in general who was holding the torch. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
We understand why you didn't sign with Profile Records. The business wasn't right. But did you get a lot of kickback in regards to being Boricua? Like, do you get a lot of no's? We can't sign you because you're Puerto Rican.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about it.
For real?
I told you
that
before,
was big back then.
It was us when we go up there and everything, but do you guys rap in Spanish? And we said no. And it was like, how is a guy who visibly looks Puerto Rican and the guys in your group look Puerto Rican gonna be marketable to a dude in Detroit or a dude in Oklahoma or a dude in Arkansas? They didn't see that vision.
The vision.
Because basically, record companies, once they started getting bigger and bigger, it became less about the music and more about the packaging,
the
of the
marketability.
music.
Yeah.
So I said they
said, yo, he's not marketing me to dudes, he's marketing it to the ladies.
Listen,
that's what I would say.
Smart guy. That's a smart guy.
I ended up taking they ladies later.
We're going to talk
That's a
about
different
that.
story. That's a different story.
And he knows.
Different story.
But anyway, so like I said, we took our money, we pressed the records, Red Alert plays it, Marley plays it, then we'd be like, hey, let's shoot a video. We shoot a video. Remember, I got no cosign from nobody.
That's right, no
cosigns. I
cosigns.
don't even got a manager.
No cosigns needed.
Everything we did was on our own.
When it's hot, it's hot.
Do you know that got on Video Music Box,
Talk to
right?
him.
But here's the second biggest one. This is the biggest one. They had a station called The Box where you used to pay for the
Box.
videos.
The Box.
All right,
That
so
was the
it-
joint.
So it was
Miami,
regional.
I like the
Yes.
Box.
So now, as a radio station can play you here and there, but video was international.
Yes.
I blew up that
Yeah,
thing
ish.
so crazy. I remember
Ish.
Eric Sermon coming to me one time.
Yeah.
Because he talks like this. He go, yo, Power Rule. Man, I was at this girl's house in Jersey. Your video came on 20 times in a row.
Wow.
And, it was just like, and those started conversations. They wanted me
Yeah.
to be down with
Yeah.
Hit Squad.
Yeah.
back then. Yeah, and he
Dope.
knows all that. But then all of a sudden, we send it to MTV. MTV starts playing it. And then here comes Big Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Want to manage us, right?
Wow.
But then I'm in a party one time because Smooth is everywhere. It was a hit in New York City. Actually, it went number one in Philly at some point.
Yeah.
But then I go into a party and somebody grabbed me like this, and it's Eric B.
Wow.
And Eric B, he's with Freddie Fox.
The legendary Eric
Yeah,
B
Eric B
from
is like-
Eric B and Rakim.
He's like, yo, I want to manage you. And I was like,
Wow.
forget Dr. Dre. I'm going
Yeah.
with Eric B.
Yeah, of course.
I went into Eric B's office one time. The landlord was just like, hey, man, they ain't paid their rent.
They ain't called Dr. Dre. Yeah, you still want to manage me.
Nah.
Listen,
How was that
But
contract?
I
was
did
that
do
contract?
that.
How
I
was
did
that?
So we went into the studio, and then I did the Brick in the Wall record,
That's
which
a
was
another
basically,
big banger.
but it was a radio suicide.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to play that.
Okay.
But you couldn't stop the video.
That's
and
right.
And then you know what happens? I hosted BET twice before I got a
Wow.
deal. Yo MT Raps before I got a deal.
So
Ralph
Boricua
McDaniels,
hosted
all on our
before
own,
Fat Joe.
with this face.
Hosted
no.
BET.
Hold on,
And
hey,
wait, nobody was even. There was no Puerto Ricans anywhere. If they were rhyming in the
D
background like
and-
Microphone Prince
Yeah.
and Thurston, all those
Yeah.
guys, and I love all those guys.
Yeah.
But visually, for you to see,
Mainstream.
when you came home from school,
Yeah, you
or
were
whatever,
mainstream.
from '89 to '91, there was nobody but me.
You broke those barriers.
Nobody
Go ahead,
but
And
me.
you know
Frills.
what that means? You're the Omega. We'll be right
See.
back.
Back with Team Demo, motherfucker. You know how we do. We can't leave the gangster shit alone all the time. Nuh-uh. Can't always be positive, you know what I'm saying? Nuh-uh. Life happens, things happen. That's how it goes, you know? Baddest motherfucker on the planet. Versus is granite like a Chi-Town savage. Come with the perspective to bring no baggage. Leave them starving for substance, they frail and famished. Marcano on the pinnacle, commander-in-chief. Tread where you walk, cause these stairs are deep. Dog eat dog, know the smell and the reek. Careful what you manifest, get what you seek. Your bleak outlook got you shook and scared. But I'm good with the blick and I don't shoot air. Attitude aggressive, I just don't care.
Broadcast buddies. Famous Frills and Val the Voice. Coaching the culture.
Famous Frills, DJ No Frills, no fraud,
Yes,
no
sir.
gimmicks. We are the culture coaches. Tell them your name.
Yes, sir. It's Mr. Validated, and I heard you hated Val the Voice, the People's Choice. Listen, man, we getting a hip hop cultural lesson right
Yes.
here from the legendary Prince Power Rule dropping them jewels, and also my man Kadi Bless dropping them jewels. We're gonna talk to Kadi Bless a little bit more, but I just want to ask Power Rule a question. Where we left off was you were saying that you were getting some feedback. You were telling us how the record evolved and everything.
Yeah.
You said that you got a lot of pushback. What did you get these calls once the record took off? Because I heard you were signing the Interscope. I heard there was like bidding wars for you. Didn't you have a situation in Philadelphia with Rough House? Talk about it. That's for my man
The
Frills.
444
My man Frills
building.
didn't know about that. How did you throw that in? But did
he
you
know
start
about the
getting the
444
calls
building.
after the record took off? And I just want to say something. People don't understand. I'm a Boricua from New York City, right? We didn't have a lot of, and I told this to my man Crazy Legs, my bro Crazy Legs, you know, as a kid, man, we didn't have too many people, we loved hip hop. We were hip hop, right? But I'm from Brooklyn. I'm not from the Bronx, right?
Yes, you're not from
So-
the Bronx. Let's make that clear.
And I'm not
Y'all
from
didn't-
Philly. And
Y'all
I'm
didn't
not from
start.
Philly
Y'all
either.
didn't. Brooklyn ain't start no hip hop. Y'all stole it. Shout out to Queens. They better.
So listen. With that
Yes.
being said, right, it was so, I want to give you your flowers, man. It was so, you don't understand the impact. It was so legendary to see you, when that Smooth video came on, I identified with you. I said, yo, that's my people. That's my man. He's an MC, he's an artist. Because I was very young. I don't remember when I became a teenager. Then I was able to see Wildstyle, Ruby D, and all of them. But you and Crazy Legs, you guys were like the first people that I saw. First Boricuas that I really saw that I was like, man, they're hip hop. They're part of the culture. So you did, and that's why I called you a pioneer early on in the show, because you are a pioneer. You are a legendary figure, and you paved the way and opened the doors for so many people. You were the first, and I want to thank you for going out on a limb and taking the chances, because also want to get back to the question: Were those did the phone start ringing when the record started popping?
Well, here's what happened. So it became undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go to like Queens Center Mall.
Yeah.
And I mean, I walk through there and I shut it down. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Security got to come. Girls
That's
going
right.
crazy and all that.
I heard you were tearing them down, Prince. I heard you were tearing them down.
Hey, Val, mind your business, Val. Mind your business. See y'all Brooklyn guys.
I was, but you know what? And that would come back to bite me, because it became more about hanging out with broads than actually making good music.
Wow, we were just talking about that.
No.
Frills.
It can happen to you. It
Yeah,
happens to
absolutely.
you.
You're a
It can
star
happen.
at a young age.
Now, I had a choice between Interscope. I had a choice between this label. The real label I wanted to sign was IRS Records. And IRS was huge in Europe. and it was run by Stuart Copeland's brother, Miles Copeland from the Police.
Okay.
So Stuart Copeland from the Police, his brother Miles Copeland put out that label. They would come out with Fine Young Cannibals, a bunch of crazy, huge groups. Now, when I did Brick in the Wall, my whole thing was, I told you I started out doing rock.
Yeah.
I was like, I got in the door. Let me hit him with a little rock joint right here. So that's why I hit him with Brick in the Wall.
Yeah.
They didn't play it on the radio, but the video
That was legendary
everywhere.
too, yeah.
So now, on Bobito's advice, and Bobito's actually apologized to me. He was like, yo, man, I'm sorry I told you to sign over there.
Yeah.
No, first of all, don't ever sign to a label that you don't live in that state or
There
anywhere.
you go.
Because
Pop
if
in
you
and out.
can't go up there, people don't feel a connection to you. You have to be.
What was it, Interscope?
Interscope is in L.A.
Yeah, Interscope. Okay.
Crazy.
Jimmy
offices.
Iovine. That's
Jimmy
Jimmy
Iovine.
Iovine.
I
Yeah.
had meetings with Jimmy Iovine
Yeah.
and all that.
Okay.
So the people ain't gonna care about you like if you come up there all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Down to the secretary, who is so influential that she can make things happen that you can't even believe that she can make happen.
That makes sense.
Little people,
Coach 'em, coach 'em.
mailroom people, all
Coach 'em,
that.
yes.
Yo, it's a whole environment, right? So I go over there, and I'm just like, all right. I was told by Donnie Wahlberg.
Okay.
New
Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block.
Monkey Monk's brother.
So all these dudes used to know me. And
That's
so
right. You was
saying that-
legendary before there was a New
Right.
Kids
And
on
he's
the
not,
Block.
and they not from Brooklyn. They
Nah.
from Boston,
They from
Val.
Boston,
Stop
yeah.
taking credit for everything.
So
Brooklyn guys.
him and one of his friends came to me and was like, I was just up at MTV, and there's 4 videos that they're gonna put in main rotation, and Brick in the Wall is one of them.
Wow.
And you know, if it was I got a main rotation, Brick in the
Yeah.
Wall, I'd probably be dead because I probably would have OD'd or
Yeah.
caught AIDS or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so like, my DJ always said, "Man, you so lucky we ain't get famous back then, boy."
Yeah.
But I mean, we were, but not
That
to
was
that
part of the
not to
culture.
that point. But so I was just like, okay. So now I'm gonna really hit him with the rock joint. So my first video on Interscope, my single was called "That's the Way It Is." Another suicide radio record. Nobody's gonna play that, but I wanted to make a statement. And I wanted to make a political statement because that's what I was always in it for. Now you gotta remember, Smooth and Brick in the Wall. You know why I did those? Because they were like prevention notices.
That's right.
Keep it smooth. Don't get upset. Or don't be another brick in the wall.
Yeah.
And you know what? My hood made me change the way I rhymed. You want to hear? And this has no curses. This is the way I used to rhyme before Brick in the Smooth and Brick in the Wall.
Yeah.
5 O's on my back, cause I'm packing a 9. I catch them sleeping, then I'm sweeping, bucking 2 at a time. Went in the bin with no bail, had 30 G's on the scale. I must be gifted cause they lifted every case in the jail. They call me talk of the town, they call me king with the crown. The rock roller, suave bowler, and I'm laying it down. I'm being followed by vice, fooling feds cause I'm nice. My system's drawing while I'm pouring real nitty on ice. That's how I used
Listen
to
to it.
rhyme.
Yes.
And there was like,
He runs better than you, homie.
you can't do that, man. You can't be talking about drugs.
Yes,
and all that.
yes,
It's
yes.
got to be positive. So I put the little positive thing in there.
Yeah.
But when it came time for and I was like, I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. Was an incredible video, but this is the time when MTV started banning Ice Cube. Anything that had a political overtone
Yeah.
connotation,
Yeah.
they started to ban it. So that was my only outlet, was video.
Yeah.
So once they crushed that, man, everything else.
You were right
fell
along
to
there
the-
with Ice-T in them.
Yeah, oh no, Ice-T used to love that.
Yeah.
I mean, yo, these dudes, they was just like, that's incredible. But you know who played it? BET played it though. But it was too much. It was too heavy for them. That song, and I've been told by other people, spawned Rage Against the Machine.
You know what? We're going to leave it there. Listen, we getting some incredible knowledge. We are the Culture Coaches. We'll be back.
Coaching the culture.
Let it play.